So let me ask you something. What if our entire idea of success is just completely backward? Today, we're diving into a really powerful blueprint for a different kind of society, one that redefines what it means to be wealthy, not by what's in our wallets, but by what's in our hearts. Let's get right into it.
This is really the big question, isn't it? I mean, just look around at the world we've built, the endless rush, the constant pressure to get ahead. Are we actually creating a world that leads to genuine happiness? Or have we just gotten really, really good at building a faster, more stressful treadmill for ourselves?
Okay, so on the left, you see something that probably feels pretty familiar. It's the hamster wheel, right? The rat race. The source material has this incredible phrase for it, chasing fame and wealth like a mad dog. And it leads to this state of internal poverty no matter how much you have. But then, look over to the right. This is the alternative, the Harmonious Society. The goal here is totally different. It's not about getting more, it's about cultivating what you have inside. It's about trading that frantic chase for a real, deep sense of inner peace and balance.
So, how do we even begin to make that jump from the rat race to real harmony? Well, it all starts by taking a hard look at one of our most basic beliefs, what it actually means to be wealthy.
This ancient Sanskrit verse, this right here, holds the key. It contains an idea so profound, it completely flips our modern view of wealth right on its head. So what on earth does it say?
Just let that sink in for a second. True poverty isn't about what you lack in your bank account. It's about how vast your desires are. And if you're truly mentally happy, those old labels of rich and poor, they just don't even apply anymore. This isn't just a nice thought. It's a whole new operating system for how we live.
So according to this way of thinking, real poverty has absolutely nothing to do with stuff. It's a state of mind. You know that feeling, that nagging, empty feeling that you just need one more thing to finally be happy? That's it. That's true poverty. And then you have the flip side. True wealth is something you could never, ever deposit in a bank. It's purely an inside job. That feeling of contentment, of being totally at peace with who you are and what you have. And you know, the most revolutionary part of this whole thing? This kind of wealth, it's available to every single one of us, right here, right now.
All right, so we've kind of rewired the definition of wealth for ourselves as individuals. But what happens when we try to build an entire society based on this? How do we take this idea and scale it up for everyone?
Well, this is where we hit a major roadblock. When our societies are built on a foundation of what's in it for me, on what the source calls these petty personal interests, what are we actually creating? Is it something that's truly built to last?
The source lays it out as this almost tragic, predictable three-step process. First, we act from a limited, selfish point of view. Because of that, the things we build, our businesses, our projects, our systems, are inherently small and fragile. They just don't have a solid foundation. And then, inevitably, what the source so beautifully calls the cruel touch of time just comes and wipes it all away. Because the only things that truly last are the things we build for everyone.
So if self-interest is a dead end, what's the answer? How do we build something that endures? Well, according to this philosophy, the answer is a revolution. But not the kind you're thinking of. This is a revolution of compassion.
And this is where it gets really interesting. The source tells us that the instruction manual for this whole thing, you're not going to find it in a library. You don't need to read a stack of complicated academic papers to figure this out.
And there it is, the big reveal, the blueprint, the guide, the master key. It's already inside every single one of us. It's not something you need to go out and buy or earn. It's something you just have to access. And that makes the power to change everything incredibly personal and immediate.
And this right here, this is the master blueprint in one single sentence. It's the fundamental operating principle for a society that can actually last. Look upon every living being with sincere feelings of love and compassion. That one single shift in perspective, that's the engine that drives all the change.
Okay, so we started with the individual, we zoomed out to the whole of society, and now let's bring it all the way back home. How does any of this actually connect to your life, to your purpose?
So how do we actually walk this path? The source describes this amazing combination of three things. First, there's action, which has to be rooted in that compassion we just talked about. Then there's devotion, that sincere feeling of universal love. And finally, knowledge, a real understanding of why this all matters. When you bring those three things together, that's where you find the true meaning of your life.
Which brings us to the most beautiful takeaway from this entire explainer. Your purpose, it's not some destination you have to search for. It's not a prize you have to win. It is a treasure that has been inside of you this entire time, just waiting for you to unlock it.
And so that leaves us with one final inspiring thought. If this incredible treasure, this capacity for compassion, for contentment, for real, meaningful action, is already inside you, then the only question that really matters is, how are you going to start sharing it with the world?